I'd like to call our public meeting to order and ask if there's a disclosure of interest. I have advised that the meeting is being video recorded and live streamed. We have a resolution to adopt the agenda with the following additions: reports of municipal officers, the letter from Dante Somethingkowski, Mineral Development Advisor on behalf of the Métis Chief, Troy J.P. LaRonde, Red Sky Métis Independent Nation. It's dated October the 8th, 2025. The resolution has been moved and seconded. Any further additions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We now have the public meeting. The clerk will read the procedures of our meeting.
This is a public meeting to consider amendments to the zoning bylaw under the Planning Act RSO 1990 as amended. This act requires that a public meeting be held prior to council passage of any zoning bylaw or official plan amendment. The rights of third parties to appeal decisions to the Ontario Land Tribunal have been restricted under the Planning Act. Only the applicant, the minister, and specified persons, public bodies, and registered owners of lands to which the plan or bylaw will apply and who make submissions at the public meeting or who make written submissions to the municipality before the plan is approved and or bylaw passed will be able to appeal the decision of the municipality of Oliver Papoonge to the Ontario Land Tribunal.
Thank you. This evening we have an application, a zoning bylaw amendment. The application number ZBLA 06-2025 is on behalf of the municipality of Oliver Papoonge for approval of a zoning bylaw amendment, being a housekeeping amendment to add definitions currently missing from the municipality zoning bylaw 01-2019. I will ask the planning department, please, to summarize the report. Carrie?
Thank you. So in 2023, the Ministry of Energy published a report titled Powering Ontario's Growth Plan for a Clean Energy Future. At that time, IESO forecasted a 75% increase in demand for electricity by 2050. Shortly thereafter, the IESO launched the long-term energy procurement process. Under the IESO's RFP process, developers were to submit proposals to improve delivery and increase the supply of electricity. For energy supply, the focus is on renewables. In the first round of the procurement process, LT1 was launched last year. On June 27th, IESO launched the LT2 procurement process. As a result, the municipality has been contacted with potential applicants, which has led to a review of our zoning bylaw. 2 definitions are required to permit such endeavors in the future. So this housekeeping amendment is to revise the definition of electrical generation, renewable or otherwise, and distribution, and to add a definition for energy storage. Both of these are defined as follows. Electrical generation, renewable or otherwise, and distribution is the process of producing electrical energy from natural resources that are naturally replenished, such as solar, wind, hydro, biomass, and geothermal heat, at a rate faster than they are consumed. This type of generation provides a sustainable energy source that is considered inexhaustible and results in a significantly lower greenhouse gas emissions compared to burning fossil fuels. Common sources for renewable electricity generation include solar energy, harnessing energy from sunlight, wind energy using the power of wind to turn turbines, hydropower generating electricity from the movement of water, often through dams, geothermal energy tapping into heat from the Earth's core, and biomass energy derived from organic materials. The definition of energy storage is proposed as follows. It is the process of capturing energy generated at one time and holding it in reserve for use later to balance supply and demand, reduce imbalances in intermittent energy sources like renewables, and provide reliability. This is achieved by converting energy into a more convenient or economically storable form, such as chemical, batteries, mechanical, compressed air, gravitational, pumped hydro, or thermal heated materials. As this amendment is municipal-wide, there is no specific official plan designation. The purpose of adding these definitions is to ensure they exist and can be permitted site-specifically on a case-by-case basis as required. This will clean up the zoning bylaw by including missing definitions and conforms to the official plan. Currently, the zoning bylaw permits electrical generation, renewable or otherwise, and distribution in the rural zone, but it is not defined in Section 2. During review, it was also determined that there was no definition to capture energy storage, which also may be required through the IESO applications. It is proposed that the following definitions be added to section 2 of the municipal zoning bylaw. The provincial policy statement provides policy direction on matters of provincial interest related to land use planning and development. As a key part of Ontario's policy-led planning system, the provincial planning statement sets the policy foundation for regulating the development and use of land province-wide, helping achieve the provincial goals of meeting the needs of a fast-growing province while enhancing the quality of life for all Ontarians. Adding in definitions that will make development simpler and the planning process more streamlined is in line with the efforts of the PPS. There were no interdepartmental comments or public comments received to date. Agency comments were received from the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority, stating that they had no objections to the approval of this application. The Ministry of Mines stated that they had no comments related to this application. And for you on your desks tonight, you see the letter from the Red Sky Métis Independent Nation stating that they also have no concerns regarding the proposed project activities.
Thank you very much. Now we'll ask if there's any supporters in the audience. Obviously, it's a municipal bylaw, so we'll just leave that. I do not see any objectors. Council, do they have any further questions of the planner in regards to this application? Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. With regard to the proposed housekeeping amendment, I've been reviewing the zoning bylaw and the official plan. Now, in the official plan, it says that the official plan shall be amended to reflect other municipal policies that impact the land use matters, planning matters in the municipality. And the plan shall be subject to continual review by the municipality whenever it is necessary to refine existing policies or amend, delete, or add policies based on the information or trends. This shall be done by an amendment to the official plan. So my question then is, does this change in the zoning bylaw definition not require an official plan amendment?
No, it's not a policy change. It's a definition being added to the zoning bylaw to make the document make more sense. There is no way to do an official plan amendment on something like that.
Okay, and then in the official plan as well, it says all amendments to the zoning bylaw shall be in conformity with the official plan. So this this change to the housekeeping amendment will then allow the official plan to be compliant with, like, the two documents to be compliant with each other?
Yes, it's just a change in definition. It doesn't change the official plan in any way.
Well, I have a concern because it's municipal, like it's the entire municipality that the amendment is for. So at the present time, each of the applicants or each of the sites that, correct me if I'm wrong, but each of the sites that they're proposing to put, whether it be a wind tower or another renewable resource of some kind, each of those properties will then have to apply to the municipality for site-specific zoning amendment to allow for the development? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as I look, there's some that have environmental protection areas. So, yeah. All righty.
Yes, they each have to apply individually.
Yeah, we want to encourage the development, but we want to be sure that it's compliant with our rules. Thank you.
Right. Okay, any further questions? Yes, Councillor Calvert.
So in this part, it said it's for rural, these are allowed in rural designated areas?
So currently our zoning bylaw reads that the definition for the renewable energy is permitted in rural, but it was never defined. So we are not removing it from rural. But if it was a different zoning in the future that an applicant was looking at, then we'd do site-specific amendment.
Okay, any other questions of the planner? So in regards to this bylaw, they will be considered at the council meeting later on this evening. So I have a resolution moved and seconded to adjourn our planning meeting at 5:09 p.m. It has been moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. We will now be going into our regular council meeting. I must call the meeting to order and advise that the meeting is being video recorded and live streamed. I ask if there's any disclosure of interest. As there is none, I have a resolution that has been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda with the following amendments: petitions and communication action items. An email from Jason Veltri, Executive Coordinator NOMA, dated October 10th, 25, advising Ontario Liberal Party MPP Andrea Hazel, transportation critic, visiting Thunder Bay, advising there is an opportunity to meet and discuss important issue with the MPP. Is there any further additions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We now have the minutes of the council meeting held on September the 24th for approval. We have a resolution that approves the minutes. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any errors or omissions in the minutes? It's page 11 to 22. Councillor Calvert?
On the business part here, it says the normal confidence in markets, it's actually underway history municipality. Okay.
Okay, so it's been amended. Any other errors or omissions or amendments? No. I would ask who approved, Councillor Vincent Calvert?
Yes.
Are you okay with the change as the amendment of the bylaw, or sorry, of the agenda? Okay, so we have a resolution moved and seconded to approve the agenda as with the following addition and as amended. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Any discussion on any items of those minutes? Councillor Kemphoff?
Just a question for the Director of Operations. Curious how item 10C free fall dump days went.
The chair, no issue.
Oh, good. Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. With regard to resolution number 363 on page 15, for Martin Drive. It says that we recommend the naming of the new road extension east of Martin Drive dead end as Martin Drive be approved. What name is then going to be changed? What is the existing Martin Drive going to be changed to? Because that isn't indicated in this resolution.
No, this was the resolution that we voted on.
Mhm.
I
For the
believe.
extension,
Mhm.
yes. But there were some suggestions with regard to the existing Martin Drive. If it was going to be loop or something like that.
That'll be coming to us at a later time, I think. I'm looking at you, yes.
The subdivision agreement with Mr. Haveman has to go through, and then we can look at the road change.
Yes, it hasn't gone through,
I'm just
hasn't been accepted.
thinking if we could just make that end Martin Drive East, then we wouldn't have to change the existing
It's a
Martin.
good idea when the time is right. Yes.
And also, just wondering if we have any update on the signage on Oliver Road. Are the signs up? What is the status of those?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all righty. Any other questions of the minutes? Any discussion? No? Okay, we will move forward to reports of municipal officers. We have the bylaw enforcement report. Our bylaw enforcement officer is here this evening. So if there's any questions of him in regards to his report, now would be the time to ask him. Maybe Larry, you could just go through the report quickly for us. Thank you.
Walking down Oliver Road, elderly lady that lives in the apartments complained about the dog across the street. And I spoke to the dog owner, the collar on the barking collar on the dog was broken, and she stated she would get a new one, and haven't had a call back from the lady since.
Perfect.
The complaint, I mean, the dog at large, as I stated last month, both residents received notifications in regards to their dogs possibly being at large because the complainant couldn't determine which dog it was, and he hasn't called back since.
Sure.
POA court, last week I was in court, one of my cases, the accused was found guilty, was issued $100 fine. A prohibition order was issued to him in regards to the use of his property on River Road. The other matter is still before the court. have another court date of October 29th at 9 AM. It's in regards to the JP issuing a control order under the Dog Owner Liability Act. Since a little boy was bit by a dog, this has been going on for a few months.
Mhm.
Noise complaint on Highway 130. Spoke to the owner of the property. Her little boy is going up and down their property on his little dirt bike, which was annoying the next door neighbor. I advised her that we do have a noise bylaw in effect, and she understood that. I haven't had a call back. And the hunting question on Mud Lake Road, they asked the gentleman where the exact property was, and it was in the restricted area according to our firearms bylaw, and I advised him of that.
Good, thank you. Is there any questions of our bylaw enforcement officer? No? Nothing on any topic? Nope. Thank you very much for coming this evening. Yes, you too. The next item we have is our building department. We have the building, oh jeez. Sorry, thought I had it turned off. We have a building report from January to September of 25, along with the permit tracker, page 24 to 37. I think I can say with all honesty, I have never seen the cost of construction year to date this high, ever.
Thanks to Hydro.
And yes, I believe there's some barn or farm
Mhm.
building also went up, but it's unbelievable, the
Mhm.
construction price coming up this year. $111 million. Wow.
Mhm.
Don't even know how to say that. So is there any comments or questions in regards to the building report or the building permit tracker for 2025?
Lots more to come.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. We now have the bylaw. We have a resolution that council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 82-2025, being the bylaw to amend the municipality of Oliver Mapunga's comprehensive zoning bylaw 01-2019, which we just discussed in our public meeting. It has been moved and seconded. It's open now for discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We have a report number 2025.197, starting on page 41, and it's an update in regards to the Rosengren municipality versus municipality planning item. Is there any questions in regards to that? Councillor Viss?
Yeah, just for clarification, where I see now on on page 45, that the bylaw beside Pacific Amendment to permit a smaller main dwelling unit as follows. That doesn't mean a trailer, correct? That has to be a prefab home and so on.
Yeah, it has to,
Okay,
it has to be a certain size, and it has to go, building code has to be followed, and all that has to happen, yes.
okay, that's all. I made sure that because the issue was at one time there was a trailer, it was the issue. So as long as that's not allowed, because we don't allow that. So, okay, that's all I need for clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, the tires have to be removed. Anything else in regards to that report? No? Okay, we shall move on with awarding the RFQ 25-2025 for the heating fixtures at the municipal buildings, page 49 to 50. We have a resolution moved and seconded in regards to that report, recommending the awarding of that RFQ heating fixtures to thermomechanical systems for $17,820 plus HST. Any questions of the Director of Operations in regards to this report? Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. With regard to the work that has been done or the cost to date, would there not also be additional costs incurred for the gas hookup to these two furnaces that we're proposing, or the fireplace and the furnace?
Through the chair, at the time of this report, we hadn't got those expenses.
Okay.
We are aware there will be some connection charges, and I believe we have to up size our meter.
Okay,
On this building or the blue building? This one?
This building,
this building, okay.
And then will the the sheeting in the blue building be covered then with sheetrock, or is it okay to leave it as plywood?
Through the chair, it'll be plywood and it'll be painted.
Okay.
Okay, any further questions in regards to that report? Okay, the resolution has been moved and seconded. Call for a vote. All in favor? Opposed? It has been carried. We now have a transfer of Wrigley Road allowance to the municipality. We have a resolution that has been moved recommending that we authorize the execution of accepting the portion of that road allowance for Wrigley Road. It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion on this? No? I will call for a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Report number 25-200 starts on page 54, is a newsletter agreement distribution and printing report. We've been notified in October, or was it in September, that the Canada Post will no longer deliver our newsletters. So we've got them going to different drop-off stations, and the company that was printing them and so on has also closed the door. So Chris has been having to go down. Our newsletter operator has been looking around for someone to copy and print the newsletter, and we have a report on that. It's for your information. If you have any questions, the CAO has been in discussion with her. Councillor Viss?
Yeah, it's just a concern, I guess, as we all well aware of. We had the chief of the police out at a public meeting at Morello, and as we all well aware of, the attendance was so terribly low. I did ask after the fact a number of people, why did you not show up at that road or at that meeting? Because a whole lot of concern was about the new divided highway they're looking at, and I guess the majority said they didn't really know it was there. Now, I guess because there was postal strike, they didn't get a newsletter in the mailbox. That probably had something to do with it. So I guess my point is, if we have something important, we need to get that out better than what happened here, because that was kind of an embarrassment when you only had 4 residents that showed up at that meeting. And that was sad because, the man did a good job to come out and tell us what they're operating. So I guess my point is, remember, we got to do something better, and I don't know what it is. If I knew, I would tell you, but I don't know that. But I think we need to do something, get stuff out, especially if we want to have public input. We got to make sure that they know it's there.
Yeah, I know we put it on the web page, but not everybody goes to look on the web page, unfortunately.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. Now, we do have some newsletters that are personally addressed to people. Will they continue to be delivered to the homes? Do you know?
I have no idea.
As of now, it looks like they won't be.
Okay.
No, there's no flyers, not
And
at all to
Even
anywhere.
though it has a
Yeah.
exact address for it. And when we do our website upgrade, perhaps we could make the newsletter icon more visible, because it's kind of at the bottom of the home page, and that might be an option to put it more upfront. So there is a lot of information in the newsletter. I know a lot of people do depend on it, so.
I
Thank you.
tried to spread, whenever anyone's asked, I've tried to spread all the drop-off locations to the people so that they can go and pick it up. I know I got mine at the Row 60. So. No, just 2. One for me and one for my sister. Any further discussion? No questions? Okay. The next item is the report number 2025-201, which is an update on the developments concerning the City Truck Diversion Working Group, page 57 to 61. It is a report of the meetings that we've had up to date, or up to this date. We have had one further to that, but the minutes have not been approved by us yet with the second meeting, so they're not on here. Councillor Viss.
Yes, I have only one concern, and I'd like to report the committee gave us, and everything's turned down based on the fact that MTO said additional truck traffic on Highway 1117 and determination that no change are warranted this time. How do they come to a number like that? They knew what the traffic was in 102, and you move them all to 1170. How can you make a statement like that? So your folks meet with them, and they give you all this, no, 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 no. Like, where are they coming from? We need to go somewhere else because we're not getting anywhere with the local MTO. That's brutal that they can say that to us and then turn everything down, like a traffic light in the village or speed limits, and it's terrible. It's awful what they're doing. That's the only comment I have, because when you read that, when we're done, we're fried.
Counselor
Yes, and
Talbot?
mine is to do with the speed signs, the ones that are visible when you enter the village or whatever. Like those work out. Like, and actually, we do have some data now. I've heard that does like quantify that it actually does. They do slow people down. The idiots that drive 100 miles an hour through, you're never gonna slow them down. Doesn't matter what you have. But at least the regular, normal driving people, when they see that, oh, I better check my speed, and they just, abide by it like any normal citizen. So they do work as it catches people, might be driving a little faster than usual, and hey, they're all through the states. You drive anywhere down to through the states anywhere, you'll see them going through these little towns, and they work. It just, it's just like, oh, maybe I'm going a little too fast.
Yeah.
So I don't see why they wouldn't allow us to at least put those up,
Yeah,
just as as
Yeah.
a reminder to everyone to slow down.
Well, 2 years ago, we were told that they could go, there was a permanent platform put on the west side of the village. And then then we purchased them. They're sitting at the garage. And the next year in the spring, they said, oh, no, we changed policy. You can't put them there. So, here we have
But-
these things still sitting there
Right.
and
And we're getting some data though, apparently now. I hear that
Yes.
shows that people will reduce their speed once,
I know.
they see that, and at least we have something to fight with the
Yeah.
data. We can show, hey,
we hope,
are
hopefully next
effective.
year, we
Thank
can
you.
keep them up there permanently.
I don't know what planet these guys live on, but really, because anyone who drives sees that, you're gonna slow down if you're like a regular driver. You're not gonna speed up. It's gonna. Anyway, that's my
Counselor
opinion.
Peacock?
Thank you. Having traveled Highway 102 on a regular basis, there is definitely a decrease in traffic. It's got to all be going through the village, but I still don't understand how the sign can go up to say that the heavy trucks can't go on 102, and yet how is the city going to ensure that those trucks are stopped at Dawson Road should they go down 102?
That's their problem.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about the city's problems.
Mhm.
We've got enough on our own.
And it is unfortunate that the MTO representative said, well, we have to work with the OPP to get the safety zone, the community safety zone. That all takes time as well. So
Yeah.
it's a little after the fact, I'm afraid.
Counselor Viss?
Yes, just to come back to Councillor Peacock's comment, how are you going to do that? We all heard on the news over time that the city of Thunder Bay, the manager in place said, yes, the police are going to monitor. When we had the chief of police out here, I asked a question specifically, how are you going to handle that? It is a low priority, and the only way they'll monitor that is on the blitz system. That's it. So those people that in the city don't understand that, they're not going to monitor. That's exactly what the chief told us. So that's where we're at there.
I don't think they're gonna monitor it on a continuous basis by having someone there all the time.
Just
Yes.
if they have enough complaints, he said they would then put a blitz on for a day, and that's.
Yes. Any other comments or questions in regards to the meeting? Like I said, we've had a meeting since, but those discussions will come to us at a later date. Yes, Counselor Peacock.
It is unfortunate though that it is our concern as far as Oliver Papoonge. We're policed with Oliver Papoonge Police, which is the city police, and yet it's an MTO highway, so we can't expect our police officers to be sitting there all day long blitzing the traffic, and
Have to be
MTO
the
has
OPP.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. Got a big area to cover, both of them.
Mhm. Counselor Campo?
So as most people are aware, I was on 102 this weekend too. There's a lot, despite the fact there's no signage up yet that I saw, there's a lot less trucks on there. So
Mhm.
obviously we know where they're going. Do we have any type of ongoing communication with OPP for issues like this, or have we had a discussion with them? I mean, because we do have quite a few provincial highways going through the municipality.
I don't believe that we've had discussions right now with OPP, but the chief of police at our meeting last week said he was going to contact them because of some of the complaints we had received. So, and have them perhaps sit there more often. The thing that's, I guess, I don't know if you would call it unfortunate, it's fortunate, but as soon as the police situate themselves on one of those side roads, these big trucks are all have radios. One person says there's a police presence in the village, everyone starts slowing down, just as normal as people driving four-wheel vehicles. So, but hopefully they can catch a few and that might stop things, slow things down. But really the saddest thing I'm hearing, and I've heard it from more than one person in the last couple of weeks, is when they get in Quebec, they speed up to beat all the trucks out the village so they're not behind the trucks. Well, that is dangerous to do that. And I hope that they think twice about that. There's a passing lane. As soon as you get through the village, cross the bridge, you've got passing lanes where you can easily pass each other safely. But certainly don't want people speeding up. Yes.
And just one further comment. I hate to say it, but if there's an incident on 1117 and that highway portion is closed, they're going to have to open up Highway 102
Oh, yeah.
to allow this traffic
Mhm.
through. So
No, they would. Okay, no more comments. We will be discussing this and we are continuing to discuss it as a group and looking at different alternative things that we could maybe do. It isn't over. Okay, we have now the Prudent Investment Program Municipal Client Questionnaire, page 62 to 72. And we have a resolution recommending the submission of that questionnaire to the One Joint Investment Board. I have a problem, and I said it last meeting, and I'll say it again. I have a problem with not investing the $4 million in total. I believe it's a windfall, or it's something wonderful that we've gotten this year due to construction at OPG. And this $4 million should go, as far as I'm concerned, be invested so that we can use the interest if needed in the years to come. But if we do not touch the capital, it'll be serving this municipality for years and years and years. If we start using it, then it'll be gone in no time. And then in the future, people will see high increases in their tax levies. I agree with the landfill closure, that I agree that's not required, but I would rather have the 4 million in there than the 2. We have sufficient funds in our reserves to continue to operate the municipality. Does someone want to disagree with me or not? I'm afraid when you say you're going to invest $500,000 over the next 5 years, it's not going to happen. You're going to use to buy a truck and whatever it is. And it's human nature. It's not that we're bad or anybody else's. It's just human nature. When the money is sitting there close by and you can get your hands on it, you'll use it rather than put it in the bank. So I would like to see the 4 million. It leaves us $500,000 for budget for 2026 to help assist with the operation of the municipality, but the 4 million be put away in staggering years. We don't all put it all in for a long period of time, but in staggering years. And then at the end of the year, you'll see what kind of interest you've gained from the that money, and you can take that out to help cushion your budgets. But if it's not required, you can leave it in there to get more interest. That's just my feeling. Councillor Viss?
Sure. If you go to page 63, meetings with One Investment, we have our administrators and we tell them to go and do look into things and meet with them. So they meet with people that know exactly what we should be doing once they get all the numbers. So, so if their recommendation is what we should be doing the way it is, why would we go against it? I don't have the knowledge or understanding to change that from what our administration would have when they met with the investment group. And that's.
I don't think the investment group gave them the amount they should put in. They just told them how they would handle the money.
Well, yes,
It's
but they
kind of-
also will tell you whether you should be, if they did their job right, they would look at the financials we're at and they'd be able to say, don't put that in long term because you may have to pull it out in a year or two. That's the idea of meeting with those investors. You see, to give them your details and then they help you to make your investment decision. So I don't have a problem with the investment the way it's reported here.
Yeah, and my thought is with the 4 million, you could put some in for a year, some for 2, some for 3, some for 4. And staggering different years. And still have use of it if it's required. Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. Is there a timeline or a deadline that this investment request has to be applied to?
Yeah, we have to send this thing in the week of the 27th.
Okay. Because I was just wondering, I didn't realize it was that soon, but I was thinking that we should really, are we going to need some of these funds for the 2026 budget? Like some of the windfall that we have, we don't know what our requests are, our capital asset management requests are going to look like for next year.
Well, if it's something, like I said, I would agree with the 4 million going in. That leaves you with a 500,000 or $500,000 left from the income that you would be able to use for 2026. But if you were going to start using that money to buy equipment, trucks, fire trucks, whatever, build buildings, it's going to be gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. You're not going to get it back and you won't be collecting interest on it. And we never, ever thought that this would happen. I mean, it's a surprise, a good one. But I think we should take advantage of it. Councillor Kamphoff?
So just a question for administration, how did that number of 2 million get determined?
Well, it was, we looked at the amount of 4.5 million and came up with a number of 2 million to start the beginning. And the other 2.5 million was staggered over 5 years. And I think in the report, it says there's a few expenditures that are coming up in the future that we may want to use. The council hasn't decided yet. So the idea is to put 2 million away there initially and then 500,000 in the next 5 years. That was the thinking. I think we have a, well, the report does have a mention of why that was done. Right, on the bottom of page 72, the council decided this money could be deemed MNRI. Did not want to invest all the MNR immediately, since some may be used for capital projects in the next few years.
Councillor Campbell?
So if we put, so I mean, I would understand we'd anticipate getting the 4.5 million, I mean, rather quickly, right? Like that's,
It's in the bank.
there we go.
Bank,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect. So what's the plan to do with the other 2.5 million in the next 5 years, other than, I mean, we don't have certainly any anticipation of spending all of that. So I get why we're stretching it out, but where's the other 2.5 million?
It would stay in our bank account. Maybe we put in that high interest savings account and earn 3%, something along those lines.
Okay, which of course would be potentially less than what this investment would be.
That's right. These types of investment here could yield you, 5%, 8%. It's variable, but better than what we get in our investment savings and our GICs, our bank account.
Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. Do we anticipate getting any further revenue from OPG?
No,
Through the chair, last week, we brought in another 800,000.
well,
That's why I say put the 4 million away. Yes.
I seen it.
So I'd like to move that we go with putting the 4 million away, as was suggested earlier by the mayor. I think it's prudent to do the best we can with the investments, and we certainly still have lots of flexibility with the amount that's coming in to be able to make capital purchases in the short term.
I mean, it's always there. It can always be used. If you put in, let's say, for example, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years, you know, a million or whatever each time, it's there if you need it. But I think if you're smart and you just use the interest, it's good for this municipality for years and years and years. But
Totally, this money was just, well, it wasn't even anticipated like
No.
before this happened, so it's
I think we should
it's
make,
kind of just sitting there. We had never planned on having this money, so if really going into an investment, it's either way, it's a bonus, whichever way you look at it. So I'm not, either way, it's good by me.
so. Councillor Bess.
Just one thing I don't warn you about, if you follow the markets at all, because some of that's going to markets. Last week, you took a terrible tumble, only on decision of one man. And that could happen again anytime, so don't think you're gonna get 8%. That's not guaranteed. You be aware of that, but the high interest rates are guaranteed to 3-4%. That's all. So I'm just saying, we're playing it safe both ways for what they're projecting here, and so I still can't go put it all away. No.
So for some context, approximately a return on investment, an annual return of $100,000, which would be pretty modest on a $4 million investment, represents 1% tax increase, or potential decrease, or holding our taxes by 1%, just for some context on that.
And that would
So,
be for the 1 million or the 4 million?
again, it would depend on which amount you
Right.
choose. Obviously, if you put 4 million in, your chances of getting 100,000 are a lot better than if you put 1 million in,
That's right.
right? Because that's, you know, a 10% return versus a 2.5% return, right? Which is, so
You're,
if you're just for some or added some context to that. And as far as Councillor Peacock's question about 2026 items, this MNRI is money not required immediately. So that means is money that, you know, is above what we plan to spend in the next 5 years. So that's like how we identify
we've
it.
left the 0.5. So we have 400,000 left from the 4.5 million. So you have 500,000 that we're not touching.
Yes,
We're
we would
leaving
have
in,
that.
and now
That
you're
could-
talking about another 800,000. So that's, you know, 1.3 million. That's still going to be for use
Still,
in your
yes.
next budget if you plan to use it. It could go just into our reserves. So, and then you'll have a whole year to collect interest on this money, which can
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, so
you-
again, yeah, modestly, so, you know, 5%, $4 million at 5% is 200,000
Yeah. So
a
I mean,
year, so that's a
Mhm.
2% of our tax base.
So it's there for the rest of our residents in the future. I really am worried about seeing it being spent, the capital part of it being spent. So once it's gone, it's gone. You can't get interest on it anymore because you're not going to be able to save that kind. This was just, you know, the ferry was looking there and on ours this year. It was nothing that we thought would happen. It can be, again, if something should happen, it can be pulled out. You know, every year you have the opportunity to put it back in again, and some will be in for 2 years, they'll get a higher interest. It just, it's always there. It's not like you can't touch it if an emergency happened.
Yeah, and again, with our discussions with them, they plan it out based on our investment horizon. So our mix of equities versus, GIC, all that kind of stuff is plan based out on our investment horizon. So the 1.2 million that for the landfill closure money, which is, at least 40 years out, maybe,
Right.
much longer. That's, those are planned for long term. Or, shorter term, the 5 to 10 horizon would have a different mix of investments. So.
Yeah.
So the city got, I think, the 8.5% last year. Again, it's not guaranteed, or anything like that, but,
They
just for
don't
some-
put it all into one thing. They
No, they
have
don't
a
put it all
mixture
into
of
one thing.
things
It's
to
a
put it
mixture.
into, and these are professionals that watch it every day.
Ye-
That's their job.
Yeah, they seem pretty right on the phone.
Yes. Just a comment that right now, I think we're making a decision for the next term of council. Right? Really, like, we're putting this money away and then that could possibly leave the next council for the next 4 years short on things, or we can withdraw it at any time.
Well, you would, let's say you put a certain amount in for 1 year, certain amount for 2, and then for 3 and for 4. So after 1 year, which would be next fall,
Mhm.
which is when the new council comes in, they could withdraw, for example, the $1 million and put it into their budget if they want. It's there.
There's no, I mean, there are some minor like housekeeping restrictions
Yes.
on withdrawal, but there's no, if we, so for example, we're not locked in for a long horizon, so we could invest and would withdraw it in a shorter period,
Sure.
but you are subject to market forces.
Yeah.
Right. So the idea with this, similar to what Councillor Viss was saying, is that over the long term, the equities and then those type of investments will do better than you're going to get, in our TD high interest savings
right.
account.
Yeah.
So, but as Councillor Viss points out, that if something happened and we needed to pull the full 10 million out, like
10 million?
in 2027, or sorry, whatever, sorry.
So,
So that's what we have. So we have 10 million in the bank now. Sorry. Say the full 4 million out in 2027. Well, you would be whatever it's worth in 2027.
right.
So it could be worth 4.5, could be worth 5.5, could
Yeah.
be worth 3.5.
You don't,
It won't
yeah,
be
but I mean,
nothing,
it can
but
be,
you know what I
it's
mean?
not, we're not tying anyone's hands in the future.
Yeah, you're not. No. So
They can take it out. Sure, they can if that's their wish.
every year, we meet, well, I don't know how, every year there's a meeting between the municipality, and the One Investment,
Mhm.
where we set our goals for the year. And that would be where we would say, well, we need to pull out $2 million, or we need to pull out
Or even
or $500,000
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's there.
Yeah,
It's-
so again, like I said, so it's not a restriction,
No,
but, but like I said, so annually, you would say, okay, we're looking at, say 2027, nothing is planned.
we can
We
leave.
don't have to make any changes to our investment. 2027, we have a meeting, you say, we're working on Roslyn, new fire hall for Roslyn, and we expect to put shovels in the ground in 2028. We might need to withdraw $1 million or
Yeah.
whatever, and then that would be part of the planning,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, the money's
So-
not gone. It
Money's
isn't
not gone.
disappeared, but it's
Mhm.
just, and we're not tying any counselor's hands in the future.
No,
They still have the ability to take it out if it's required.
yes,
But I think in any council, doesn't matter today or the future,
Yeah.
you think twice as much about it to pull it out than you would if it was already in reserves, because then you just take it out and you think twice.
yeah.
I would.
Just like we can't use it as a bank account
No.
where we write
No.
checks against it, whatever, like every month we
You
write
would do it
10
at
checks or
budget
something
time.
like that.
Yeah,
We can't do that, but we can if the funds are required
right.
withdrawn. So,
Wayne?
Well, there seems to be a kind of difference of opinion about some of this. So right now, there's the 2 million going in right off the bat, and then 500,000 for 5 years. you could do something like 2.5 million or 3 million or even 3.5 million in the first go around, and then reduce the annual amounts in the following years.
But if we put 4 million in, we have 500,000 of this 4.5. We have that we haven't touched. Plus we got another 800,000, then you've already got over 1 million to put into your budget for 2026. So put the 4 million away in staggering lengths of time and whatever. These people are pros. It's just there. It's in a year from now, and a year goes very quickly. You'll be doing a budget for 2027 and you could be pulling off the interest even if that's all you want to take out.
I had written down, I'll tell you what I had written down, initially, and I said, future council can determine what other amounts they want to put in. Like,
Yeah.
It'll be up to them.
They can put every year more if they want. Depends on the
Yeah.
budget and your taxes and yeah.
I'll just make one more comment. How many of you people were around remember Black Friday?
The 1929 one or the?
Year after, so if you think you're gonna pull your money out, you've just lost maybe 30–40% of your dollars. Be prepared for that. That's all I'm saying. Be very careful. I think what they're doing here is using a little bit of each, put it somewhere, not all of your eggs in one basket. That's all, and I
Well-
think that's why this is a good program, but what our senior management came up with. Be careful, folks, because today the market is something volatile like you won't believe. So be careful. That's all I'm saying to you. So I'm not voting for all of it in there, but I'll just warn you, the little experience I've had. So be careful.
Yeah. But they don't put all of this money into the same
There's
basket.
in the market somewhere.
different kinds of things.
Yeah, again, then they caution us that it will be diversified, but it is subject to risk. So there's some, but yeah, but not all of it is going into, what, like a single stock or whatever,
No.
3X or anything like
Yeah.
that. So.
Counselor Campo?
I guess if you knew when to get out of Briax, you could have done quite well. So in light, so it is a decision need to be made today on this? It
Yeah.
does. So
Yeah.
right now we're looking at, the suggestion has been 2 million. And we've got, we were just, informed, maybe unofficially that there's another 800,000 coming in. So what if we bump it up to 3 million? That's a bit of a compromise to everybody in the room. And then we're still basically, we're pretty close to the same longer term investment as the suggestion. It's just instead of doing 2 million, we're doing that extra 800,000 plus a little bit more.
Well, then you'll be keeping $1.5 million plus the
Yeah.
800,000. So you're keeping $2 million, over $2 million you're going to keep out.
Get at it.
If you don't spend it,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, Council Rain?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify what you see on page 67. Whatever we put on there, that's a check we're gonna hand over to these fellows this year.
Yeah.
The things you see on page 68, what happens down the road, that can be changed. So yeah.
I'm quite fine with 3 million.
Okay, I'll agree to 3 million. I'd like to see 4, but
Well-
3 is better than 2. I'm not going to be silly about it. But yeah, if they
It's
can,
not a bad problem to have. Let's think,
Nope.
think of the discussion we're having here, right?
it's not a bad problem. I just don't want to see it left in
No.
where it's too handy to use, because then it's it is easier to spend it if it's not tied up in investments.
Yeah.
So,
And we can revisit it in January.
yeah, you can always put more money in, always put more money in.
Yeah.
So I would agree to the 3 million. You can leave this alone. In the future, you could put whatever you wish in, but I would like 3 million at this time, plus the landfill closure, which can be put in for many more years because it's not required. So who's done the resolution?
This, Calvert, put this forward, so we could amend it to say, 2 million, we should say 3 million instead of 2 million on, schedule 3.1 on page 67.
Okay.
Well, I'll say yes, because then you can put it on the table.
Yeah, then we can put it on the table. We still can have a vote. If you wish to have a recorded vote, we can do that as well. Did you want a recorded vote, Councillor Viss? No, okay.
It's already set.
Okay, so the resolution has been adjusted to change the 2 million to 3 million on this questionnaire. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And then we have the use of the municipal logo on clothing. I think most of us have seen the clothing that they're talking about. And we have a resolution. They're asking for permission to put that logo on clothing, and they cannot do that without this resolution. So it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now we have reports from committees, the Oliver Papoose Library Board. We have 74. We have I believe they have retired or have a retirement thing for Maxine, but not a party. She didn't want a party, Maxine.
There won't be a party that was originally
That's right.
envisioned.
Yeah, a get together. So, okay, so we have the minutes and then the second quarter 2025. Councillor Peacock.
Thank you. With regard to the website, I see that then I think the new member that has been appointed to the library board, if our website could be updated to indicate that. We had Rena Patton had stepped down, so, okay. And as far as the statistics for the libraries, they're very well used for sure. And the chair exercises with 600 people in the first half of the year. That's great use of the facility for sure, as well as the other activities that are offered. But it's good to get everybody out to do that. Thank you.
Okay, that's for your information. And then we have the Lakehead Regional Conservation Authority minutes of August the 27th. That's on page 76 to 81. And then the DSAP meeting. We have the Thunder Bay District Municipal League, page 95, their minutes of their meeting, which is nice to read. And the Oliver Papoose TBPS Liaison Committee. That was a meeting with the police. And this is the minutes of the May 26th meeting. We have met with them recently again, which was also a very good meeting. I think that we're all starting to feel comfortable with the meetings when they come here, and had some really good discussions. So, yes.
Actually, there's been some after the meeting activities going on. The fire chief and the inspector have corresponded on a couple of different files, which we didn't really have that vehicle to communicate before. So it's very positive development having that committee.
Yes, yeah, it was a real asset to the municipality to have this committee and the work with the police chief. Fire chief, fire department, fire chief, and discussing with their police. All righty. We have bylaws now. The bylaws of Oliver Papoose zoning bylaw amendment. This bylaw has been moved and seconded. Again, it's open for discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Then we have the municipal voting contract. It's been moved and seconded, this bylaw. It's open for discussion. Is Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. So is the cost associated to this contract on page 115, is that guaranteed? That as far as postage costs, and like it's $1.50 per eligible elector? Just wondering with the State of Canada Post and hopefully it'll all be resolved by the time these election cards go out. But is that something that we're going to have to consider? I believe this is a line item will be included in our 2026 budget, but perhaps we may have to increase that value just in case.
Well, we've been putting money away every year between elections so that when it's an
Mhm.
election year, there isn't a huge amount.
Yeah, we've been a $6,000
Hmm.
contribution to the election reserve every year.
Yeah.
So based on this, we should be okay. But again, we don't know. Canada Post could double the rates tomorrow, but I don't see it.
And do we have any statistics with regard to the number of people who opted to vote in person at Murillo and Roslin, as well as the number who used the advanced polls at the municipal office? Would just be interesting for, perhaps those were provided previously.
We did have those at a meeting after the election.
Election.
Mhm. Okay.
That is available.
Councillor Campo?
Just a comment to the question from Councillor Peacock on page 117, item 11.1. We'll cover them if there's issues with labor trouble or strikes by employees. So force majeure clause.
So any further discussion on the bylaw? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And now we have the transfer of Wrigley Road allowance to the municipality. This is a bylaw that's been moved and seconded. Councillor Campoff.
It just jumped out at me because of my address, I guess, but in the second paragraph of this bylaw, it says Town Line Road instead of Wrigley Road.
Oh dear, we gotta change that or we're in real trouble.
It might be yours. That was a way to. Like, wait a second, it's your property.
Wait a second.
You should do the $4 million. Go.
Okay, so that's, we have the bylaw that's been moved and seconded. Do the movers and seconders of that resolution agree to the amendment? Okay. Okay, so the amendment has been changed and approved. Any further discussion on this bylaw? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now we have the Roma Conference. We have a resolution. The rooms have been scheduled or have been booked. And we have to have who's going to go before we can pay for the actual conference. And I would like to attend. Okay, so Dan, Councillor Calvert, myself. Anybody else like to go?
Surgery.
Did you want to go?
If there's an opportunity for Councillor Peacock to go, I mean, I'm okay
Mhm.
with not going, but do you have any idea when you'll know?
Well, she's having surgery in January, so. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
So.
And then our CAO. Okay. Righty. And we can, the conference can be paid for, but I think you can change the name if something should happen in the future. The rooms have been booked already, but they're booked under the municipality. So.
Share room with Councillor this one
Sounds worse. No, so we have a resolution moved and seconded that the following be approved to attend, which would be Councillor Calvert, Councillor Campoff, myself, and the CAO Wayne Hanchard. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now we have some correspondence in regards to Canada Post federal government mandate review, the Parry Sound Mega School, the health and future of Canadian democracy, Canada Post labor dispute and impact on municipal communications, postage, Bill C-61, which is the First Nations Clean Water Act, mandatory water safety and swim to survive training, automated speed enforcement resolution, and an email from Jason Veltri in regards to the Ontario Liberal Party MPP Andrea Hazel being in Thunder Bay, and we have received confirmation that we can see her at 9 o'clock that morning. And there is a resolution in here, or we have the resolution? Okay. The only thing is, not everybody from our group that would normally be talking with the MTO is able to go. I am able to be there at 9. Wayne is booked elsewhere, and so is Chris. It's Friday, October the 10th, or no, October the 18th. It's Friday, the 17th. It's hard to see this writing here. It is Friday at 9 a.m., but I believe you have another meeting with the, yeah, so you're meeting with the local MTO. So I'll be there at 9. Did you want to come along? No? Well, then I'll be going by myself, I guess.
I mean, meeting with the MTO is gonna be probably more productive.
Well, yes, but they didn't ask to meet with me.
No.
So,
Where's this at? Which one is this?
where's it at?
It's at the NOMA office.
Right there, 874 Tungsten.
Oh, okay. So, but I mean, if no one wants to go and you don't feel that I should go, then we just won't go at 9 a.m. It is the Liberal Party, which is,
Yeah.
it's not going to mean anything. And I have no problem not going.
No.
It just, I'm the only one that's available, it seems so. What is your thoughts?
Do you feel there's any value in going? I think leave it up to your
I
judgment.
don't know that person could do much for us since it's the Liberal Party. So,
If you'd like to go, Mayor, we should go ahead,
Yeah.
you know, from
Yeah.
what you can get along with you, with the MTO.
okay,
Yeah. Power, and I don't think she can do much at all for you.
okay, so we shall maybe let her know that someone else can have that 9 a.m. appointment. Okay? We won't,
Okay, so we'll defer that.
we'll,
We just
Don't do it.
gets
Don't need it.
withdrawn because it's withdrawn. There's nobody going.
okay. Yeah, so that will be withdrawn. Okay. Then we have EMS appreciation letters. We have written one. I signed it. And the Pineview BESS pre-engagement confirmation notice, the transitioning the Blue Box system, Wendy Landry's appointment to the IESO Board of Directors, the new Section 232 tariffs and escalating trade war, investment, forest, road infrastructure, and sawmill chip program. If anybody wanted me to stop at any point, just tell me yes.
With regard on page 141, this is the email from Kitchener City Hall. I'm just wondering the treasurer's thoughts on the possibility of emailing tax bills. I mean, there could be every kind of excuse from it went to spam, I didn't get it, my email address changed. Do you see that there could be an issue having bills emailed? I mean,
Right now we're not permitted to email them.
that's what I thought.
So we have no email addresses of any of the taxpayers.
Mhm.
So the initial hurdle would be to gather up the 3,000 plus emails
Mhm.
that we would need.
Mhm.
And then, like you say, it gets sent to spam, it gets hacked. People change their emails from time to time. People have multiple emails. So, yeah.
How are we handling the water bills then through the strike? Oh, okay.
They're all,
Yeah.
they're all concentrated in,
Yes.
in the one area.
I was just
so.
thinking, the city is emailing their water bills, so that's why I wondered. That's a lot of emails. Further to,
I was gonna say, I live in the city and I have never given them my email address, so
Mhm.
I don't know how they plan to email me my
Yes,
water bill.
that'll be different. Yes.
And then on page 145, the City of Dryden's resolution, can we support that or acknowledge it? I'm just thinking this a very unfortunate situation where these people, these children had drowned. That could so easily happen at the falls at Kakabaka, through the public park there. I don't believe there's a lifeguard there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just wondered if we could support that and forward the,
I'm just kind of wondering how they're going to do that.
mhm.
How are they going to put mandatory water safety and swim to survive training into their curriculum?
Mhm.
Like think it's gonna be, but it's up to you. If you wish to support it, we can bring it back at the next meeting.
And the last one I have is page 151 with regard to the Pineview BESS. Have they been made aware that there's potential that the highway could possibly, the new extension of the highway could possibly affect any type of proposal they have for us? Yep. Okay.
Yes, Councillor Campoff?
So just a question for administration that mentioned a couple minutes ago. So we're not even allowed, there's no, it's illegal for us to email stuff to people, or as far as tax bills and stuff like that?
No, it's not illegal to email stuff
No.
to taxpayers, but the rules around your actual tax bill
Yeah.
do require a paper bill.
Oh, okay.
So, but we could email water bills or ice rentals or any of those stuff, no problem, but it actually requires a paper bill for tax.
And any other questions? We've now stopped at the top of page 9. The planning workshop. Unfortunately, you have council that day, I believe.
On the Wednesday, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
the schedule, I believe, is in our package.
Mhm.
And since you meet in the morning, might possibly I don't know, make the afternoon if you wish. It really doesn't start until after lunch anyway on the first day.
It's the Wednesday, I think, that we have council vote.
You have council on the 29th?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then you
Yes.
can't do it. All righty. And Community School Alliance, the annual report from the chair, the message from the chief of police services, the shift, which we receive monthly, NOMA Director, Board of Directors meeting, and AMO Local Government Week. And any of those you wish to go into those, and otherwise I will go to new business. Councillor Calvert, new business.
Okay, I don't think, yes, I want to commend Sean and the first responders. I had a resident requiring their services, and I was informed how professional they were and what a great service the first responders were. So, thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
That's it. Councillor Campoff.
A question for the Director of Operations. Has our new Zamboni arrived yet?
No.
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 The Olympics.
Yeah, it's a while ago. Or is it the next Olympics? Would we be interested, and I guess that's a question for all council and administration, would we be interested in renting out the surface of it for a wrap for advertising?
Through the chair, it's already spoken for.
Ah,
That's the
okay.
hydro one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's hydro, that's right.
Mhm.
Okay. Pardon me then.
Do you have an idea? Have you heard anything from them?
Latest one is December 9th.
Because every time I see it go on the ice, I'm so thankful that it's still moving and it's still working.
Through the chair, we're keeping it together.
Yes, yeah, I can see that. It's being it's being well taken care of. And Councillor Viss, any new business?
Well, I guess it's not new business, it's that proposed new 4-lane highway. I really have concern, those poor people there on the pole line. First of all, they'll be back here in the next meeting when they're gonna be discussing to change the zoning bylaw to the landfill. And now, if you look from Pebblestone on, guess what? Towards Kakabeka, guess where they live? They got nowhere to go. Because this track is on the south side, so the only way to go 4-lane is north side, so where are they gonna live? They got nothing left. I think it's awful to be in that situation.
Well, most of those lands have already been acquired or,
No,
No.
not this.
Not
They
that
cut up and they came out of
Which are
Clinton
different.
Martins at
Oh,
that time,
yeah.
you see? And now they're coming down the pole line. They have to go right down the pole line. They can't go south because the railroad track runs there. I'm so disappointed to see that for those poor people sitting and are living there. I may be 10, 20 years away, but still, what's the value of your home?
Mhm.
Yeah.
you have utility highways or roads beside the highway, but there's not gonna be any entrance. to
It's
the highway.
just so sad to see that for those same people having to face this again and where you're at. Yeah, and if you don't like the purchase price they offer you, guess what?
Yeah.
They just take it anyway. And so it's a really, really sad story. I don't know if we can do anything at all, if we could talk to them to, why can't they go back to the original one they had? They've bought that property through there. There's property bought through there on the up past Yall Road, because I know a gentleman that owned that lot and he was kind of ticked off because they split his lot in half
Hmm.
coming up to the Oliver Road. And then they went across the Martin Farm. And that lady was just terribly upset at that meeting when we had in those years because they split their farm. Why can't they go that route?
Chris? Oh,
I'm just gonna comment, that's the meeting we have on Friday.
Hmm.
Carrie, Chris and I will be doing a Zoom meeting with the MTO and WSP on this project, so we'll be asking them about the project, including things that you've mentioned. We can,
Well, I'd really
No,
appreciate that if you would consider that, bringing back up the 1970 plan with the land that they already own, and why would they do this, what they're doing? When you look at the cross from where they're going to hit 1117, just in front of Kakabaka, that 90-degree railroad track, they're the most dangerous track we got in all of our municipality, and they're going to come out there? You got to be kidding me. Like, somebody's not doing any work here at all. It's just a terrible situation what they're doing, so.
Through the chair, this study area is vague by definition, and we've tried our best to superimpose it. And we were contacted for 3 of our properties to be investigated as early as 5 hours ago.
yeah,
We have another 21 properties that we own that they want to get on and investigate. Now, they're all the intersections of
Yeah.
the existing highway. They're roads in Kakabeka, they're Clerk Street, Marion,
Mhm.
Fraser, all of them. So there's no cast in stone with this alignment. And again, it's a few years off. I can appreciate Councillor Vista's point, but in no way, shape or form are they saying we're going through here at this time. We are still 5 years out to
Yeah.
get through all this. They are still digging for information and coming up with the best plan.
Yeah.
I will say, we've never seen this much influence or this much dialogue back and forth with the MTO in a short period of time than
Mhm.
what we're seeing right now.
yeah.
Anyway, that's all, Mayor Lucia. I appreciate that the administration gonna look at that and tell them what, because that is a real concern for those people on that road. It's awful.
Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. I have a few things. I believe that's already been addressed, but there was an issue with regard to the sidewalks needing repair in Kakabeka. I think that's already been directed to the Director of Operations, so hopefully he's be able to follow up on that. I'd like to congratulate all of the volunteers in their efforts. Our community was very busy this weekend, whether it be the Ren Fair, the monster trucks, the Lakehead Light Horse event, Baloo's Farm Tours, just to name a few. So the the weather was perfect and I think all were very well attended, so congratulations to our community and welcome all those city folks out here anytime.
Right.
Just a basically public service announcement. Remember, the power's out on Sunday,
Okay, yeah,
so
I know that.
be prepared.
Oh, hours.
Yeah, for sure. And when we get back to the events like the ones that I had mentioned, when we do our website address or our website update, can these be added to a calendar? I know there's a calendar on the website itself, but is it something that the public can add to or at least suggest that it be put on the calendar? Or because there's never anything on
I would
the event
suggest that,
calendar.
I would suggest if these organizations have something, they contact the office here,
Mhm.
but we wouldn't want other people to be able to put.
No,
anything on the
exactly,
website.
but that's what
Yeah,
I'm wondering if that
Sure.
could be looked
I'm
into
sure that could be
anyways.
looked into.
And I did have another call and it's with regard to a road being built or something being done between lot 14 and 15 on Pole Line Road. Is it a new road into the landfill site? Or are there's something being done down that way? And there is a comment or no?
I'm creating access to our monitoring wells. There's work required on them next year.
Yeah,
So they need.
we have to
replaced,
be able
but
to
we
get
gotta
to them.
Get
Yeah.
there.
Got to
Okay,
get to the monitor the wells, yep.
thank you for answering that.
Okay,
And just one other thing, after the chat with the chief, and we didn't have very many people, would we read in Saturday's paper? Concern for speeding on Hearthstone and River Road.
Yes, I've
So,
seen that.
yeah, so
Oh,
anyways,
I didn't
perhaps
read
that could have
but-
been addressed at that time had the person attended.
No. I'm not noticing it too much, but then I don't look up my window and watch, so.
It's everywhere. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's just society. There's speeding it's just how it is. You can go anywhere between that and imaginary stop signs and the side roads. They're just suggestion signs. They're not stop. Anyway, that's my beef.
That's okay.
And you could do a can collection along the side of the road. My goodness.
Okay, so that is it for the new business. Nothing more from the fire department, treasury, roads, planning, nothing? Okay. So we now resolve to close session. I have a resolution moved and seconded to resolve into closed session, the time being 6:22 PM. All in favor? Opposed? It's been carried and we will have a 5-minute break. Thank you.
Use the mic and we're good.
I now reconvene. We have a resolution moved and seconded to reconvene the council meeting at 7:13 PM. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We have a resolution moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the closed session meeting held on September the 24th. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And then we have a resolution confirming our meeting of this evening. It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor? Against? It's moved. And finally, we have a resolution adjourning our meeting of the evening at 7:14 PM. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.